Hello and welcome to what I hope will be a couple of videos that I'll be displaying some of the statues that I've bought. This particular statue is by Sideshow. It is the Spider-Man vs. Venom Marquette, which came out in 2021 December. This one took quite a while to get to me, but I've got a very low edition number of number 30 of 1,500, I believe, that's in this edition. Now, I've never done a recording like this where a camera is sort of strapped to my stomach, but I'm going to do the very best. And I've sort of semi-opened it just to inspect the parts. So it's come in the normal box that you would normally get, and it's in pieces, as you can see. So we'll start off with the base. So this is the base, and as you can see, it is a very low number in this edition, and we'll put this over on my Lazy Susan, as so, and just make sure that I've got everything in place for me to get this correct. Now that's a very attractive looking base. It looks very much like a chimney pot with the bell tower. That's from a fight in Spider-Man 300, I believe. So very nice. The next piece is huge. It is Venom. And as you can see, very, very highly detailed. Nice spider emblem on the back. Keyholes for each of the magnets, and a nice key peg for placing into the base. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for me while holding a camera, but hopefully you can see me trying to work this out. I believe that goes there. And you have to be very, very careful with placing these pegs, because you can chip the paintwork. So that's now in place, and if I just step back, you should see Venom is now proudly in place on the base. What should we put in next? I think we'll put in Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Oh, how I've spent money on you through the years. So he looks very, very detailed. Nice shading all around. High amount of detail. Even to the point that there is texture on the feet. Okay, now he's got a key peg in the arm, just there. So I believe he goes into this key peg here, and hopefully he should slot in really quite nice. And that one's not magnetized, so I'm going to have to be very, very careful. But then we'll just step back and see how he's starting to look now. And oh, it's coming along quite nicely. Wonderful. So I think we'll put Spider-Man's head on next, because I don't like him to look headless. So that should go into that neck piece there. Looking nice. And then I think I'll put on his hand, because he looks a little bit empty without that. And already the statue is starting to take shape. Quite enjoying this so far. Now I've got a very unusual piece here and I'm not quite sure where this goes. So if you just bear with me, I think I found it. But it is a piece that maybe I should have put in first. But it looks like a piece of symbiote that goes, yes, right near his foot and stretches to the seam of Spider-Man's hand. Don't know if you can see that, but it just goes there and probably won't make much of a difference until you've got the full statue done, but looking quite nice. I think we'll put in one of the arms now for Venom, which look very, very menacing, very, very muscular, very detailed. And this is where it always annoys me, because you got to know your right from left. But it looks very much like this one is keyed in just there. So again, looking nice. Not too bad a seam. Seams are something that many collectors look at and criticize, but you can see that it's slotted in and they've tried to blend the arm so that you can't see the seam too much. Let's step away for a moment and see how he's looking. Very nice. And we better put the other arm in now. And I believe this one is the outstretched arm that goes at the top. Another key hole with a seam. There we go. You won't have seen that, but it's just at the top here. Sorry about that. Still going to get used to these camera shots. But he's looking now incredibly tall. And it looks very much like we're only missing a head. Now, we've got two heads. Which one should we go for? So I'll just explain the reason for two heads. One is there's a collection edition and one there is a exclusive. So this is the exclusive. And with the exclusive, you get Venom as drawn originally by McFarlane, which had no tongue. Now, a lot of people have criticized the fact that they can see a seam along here, which I can see as well. But apparently, that's the only way they could get the detail on the teeth. So they had to split it in two and then glue it together and then blend. It's got lovely colour in the eyes. Looks very nice. So we'll put that head in first, and then we'll stand back, and that's the finished statue, and then we'll swap the heads over and have a little look. So that's the statue in its entirety. I don't know about you, but I think that looks pretty darn good. Let's come down a little bit and start moving the image around a little bit. So you can see as I swing round that he's looking very menacing in a very, very lovely action style. And I'm really enjoying that. That's incredible. So I'll just stand up again and come across at slightly different angles so you can see. And he really does look lovely. But what does that other head look like? Well, let's pull that out. And we'll come over and swap it for the other head. Now, if you remember rightly, I told you there was a tongue version. This version became popular when Eric Larson started to draw Spider-Man on a regular basis. And it just became the norm. Most people can't think now of Venom without a tongue. Personally, I've got no personal preference about it. But we'll put that key in. Gets rid of some of this polystyrene, which gets everywhere. And then we'll step back and have a look at the statue now with the tongue in. So again, he still looks very menacing. Lots of different ways of moving this around. I don't want, it's very heavy. So this Lazy Susan is not the best Lazy Susan to do this with. But he's looking very nice. And there we go. So I'm just going to stand up now. Take the most dynamic shot that I possibly can. And hopefully you guys have got enough footage here to make your minds up in regards to this Marquette, which I think actually looks absolutely stunning. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Goodbye.